So if you didn't hear it before, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's not working, leave it. Move on to something else. Welcome to Plan, Prep, Pray. Hey girlie, my name is Wendy and I am a homeschooling mom of 4 little ones, and on this channel I talk about all things homeschooling, homemaking, mommy self-care, and kids empowerment. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Before we jump right in, I wanted to say that this is a collab hosted by Joyful Noise Learning, and Ashley is amazing. Her channel name, Joyful, really describes her. She is just so much fun. So please check out her video on the 3 mistakes, as well as all of the mamas that are doing this collaboration. I will link the playlist as well as Ashley's channel in the description. So check it out after this video. So the first biggest mistake that I made when it came to homeschooling was needing to finish a curriculum. I swear, I acted like that curriculum was my baby, was more important to me than anything, and I needed to get through it. Even though I hated the curriculum, my child hated the curriculum, we were miserable. I'm pushing through and fighting to finish a curriculum for what? Like, it didn't need to happen. I didn't need to do it. They didn't need to do it. From discovering that you don't need to finish a curriculum, it's amazing. So if you didn't hear it before, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's not working, leave it. Move on to something else. Maybe come back to it after a break. But sometimes it's just not working. The second biggest mistake that I think that I did in our homeschooling is I took school and brought it home. So there was no distinction between school and home. My kids have never even been to school, so they don't even know what school really is. But I took my version of public school and I brought it home. I got a big old whiteboard. I got a curriculum. I had desk. I had kids were, we're going to school from 7 to 3. Why? What is the point of homeschooling if you're going to take exactly what they're doing in public school and bring it home? That makes no sense. The joy, the freedom of homeschooling is that it's not public school, is that you don't have to homeschool at a desk. You can homeschool on the carpet. You can homeschool on the couch. You can homeschool outside. Like, that is the joy of homeschooling. And it took me, honestly, and I'm ashamed to say this, it took me a good 3 years to really breathe in homeschool, to really release those public school chains that were on me that made me feel like this is how school had to look, this is how it had to be. But I'm gonna tell you a truth about homeschooling. It looks different for everyone. What homeschooling looks like for me is not what it's gonna look like or what's gonna work best for your family. I truly love that about homeschooling, the diversity that it allows, the freedom that it allows. What I have found is a wonderful mixture of what I've learned from this homeschool family and what I've learned from that homeschool family and what I've learned from that homeschool family. It's a collaboration of different things that I've learned, and then just also what I've learned from being around my children and figuring out what works with my children. It's a wonderful, beautiful mesh of this thing that makes our homeschool, and I wouldn't replace it for anything. Now, the third biggest mistake that I made when it came to our homeschooling is I didn't empower my children when it came to our homeschooling. I mean, I was Lord, ruler, and just dictator of everything when it came to homeschooling. And so because of that, I didn't foster a love of learning, and I didn't foster a love of school. And so it became this horrible thing that they had to do because there was no flexibility in it. There was no freedom in it. They did not have any power in it. So I empower my children when it comes to their homeschooling. I listen to their hearts. I listen to when they're telling me, look, Mom, this curriculum is not working for me. I'm not understanding it. Sometimes they'll say it in those words, but sometimes they'll say it in their actions. They won't want to do it. They'll have an aversion to it. And I tend to slow things down, pull things back, like, okay, it's not working for you right now. I might not completely get rid of it, but I'm gonna pull it back for a season. I'm gonna pull it back for a week or 2 or 3 weeks, and then go back to it and see what happens then. Children mature at different rates, and the joy of homeschooling is if your child is not ready to progress, there is no harm in just staying where you're at, and then when your child is ready, you slowly reintroduce and you progress and you keep it moving from there. There is something about a sweet spot when it comes to homeschooling your child where you know, oh, they're ready. And then when you hit that sweet spot, for example, if you're trying to teach your child how to read and they're pushing back and they're not ready, you can deter them from learning how to read, or you can take a step back, read to them, allow them to play, allow them to just breathe and live. And then when they're ready, you will know. Trust your instincts. You will know. You start again and you start teaching them. And then now they're at this ripe age and they grasp it and words explode. Things make sense. Things start connecting that wasn't connecting before. And there is such a beauty to doing it that way, to listening to your children and teaching them as they are ready. There is such a beauty to that. There is such a reward to that. There is no replacement for teaching your child as they are ready to learn, rather than forcing things when they're not ready. I have done both, and I am telling you, be patient with yourself. Be patient with your child, even if your child is not doing what he, she, him, them, whatever the other kids are doing. Do what works for your child, and I promise you, the rewards will be amazing. So that's it. Those are the 3 biggest mistakes that I've made in our homeschool journey. Needing to finish a curriculum, taking public school and bringing it home, and not listening to my child. Let me know down below, what are your biggest mistakes that you've made when it comes to homeschooling? Now, don't forget to check out all the other homeschool mamas and all their mistakes they've made. That's my little one waking up. I gotta go. Bye. You wanna wear your shark costume?
Yeah.
Oh, come here, Bubba. Important to be able, is that a spider? What is that on that tree? I'm so freaking distracted. What about all the mistakes that I made in this video?